How you guys doing? My name is James, and if you don't know who I am, I have the YouTube channel Start the Conversation, or have the conversation, should I say. And I just like to talk about things that affect us and I want to drive home a message to have a better tomorrow for future generations through the action that we do today. And right now, I want to talk about the nation's bigger problem right now than the coronavirus, which is the George Floyd riots, which is being called. And I think there's a lot to unpack with this, and I want to bring up 4 points. And this might be a longer video because I'm gonna come straight from the heart with this one. Now, first is that outrage and riots. Outrage is fine. Riots are not. Okay? And now the reason why I say all this, and y'all gonna get mad at me probably for what I'm about to say, but this is coming straight from the heart. Rioting, rebellion, protest. There are three different distinct types of movements, three different distinct types of actions. Protest. There's nothing wrong with protest. I encourage a protest. A protest is simply, if you really think about it, marching, speaking, standing your ground, saying what you have to say, but the actions behind it are non-violent. No one is going to throw anything. No one's going to vandalize anything. No one's going to do any anarchic, I think I'm pronouncing that word right, type of actions. It's just like Martin Luther King when he protested, he marched on Washington, when he led marches across the country. It is simply speaking your piece and holding sit-ins and just marching the streets, voicing your concern, voicing your outrage about the things that are happening. Rebellion. There's nothing wrong with rebellion. Rebellion is just simply going against the grain of what normal, or not normal, but what regular societies does, etc. It's not breaking any laws. It's not hurting anybody else. It's not doing things destructive to other people's properties. Rebellion is nothing wrong with that. It's just doing the opposite of what other society does, other people do. Rioting. That is the problem. When you riot, you actually destroy things like what's being done across the country right now. You destroy stores, you destroy businesses, you destroy private property, you just make a muck and a mess of the city. And that is what exactly was going on across the country. Detroit, my hometown, Seattle, Nashville, parts of Texas, I heard, LA, you name it. There are some 30 some odd cities across the country that are being rioted in right now. And that is where I have my problem with right now. Rioting is not the answer to this. And on my Facebook, as I'm going over my points, I have side thoughts too that coincide with all these points. I've been reading comments and responding to people's posts in respectful manners. And yesterday, I got called a house Negro, basically. Sam Jackson's role in Django Unchained, because I was basically defending all lives. And the reason why I feel the way that I do was because that everybody does matter. I said a person of color who dies is just as important as the person of non-color who dies, and everything in between. I got called a house Negro for defending, or what this person felt I was defending, is Caucasian people. I'm not defending anybody. I'm defending lives. Humanity matters as a whole. And that's just the way I feel about it. No one group of people is better than the other ones. And this goes into my second point. We're blaming all cops for what the actions of one and four did as a group. We're blaming all cops across the country for that. That right there is just not right. We have seen posts and videos of great cops going into communities and playing with the children and playing basketball with the boys in the community and with the girls in the community. We've heard stories of decent cops buying car seats for mothers who didn't have the money, who needed to transport their children. We've seen the stories of the cops or the law enforcement officers who actually do great things for people in the community who need help. So blaming all cops and seeing spray paint murderers on cop cars and seeing vandalism of police cruisers? No. You want to know what that is? That's basically how people who are prejudiced lump everybody of the same ethnic background into the same category because of what one person did. That's just like me saying that I don't like any Caucasian people or any Mexicans or any Filipinos or any body of a certain race because of an experience that I had with one or a handful of people in that same race. That's the same thing that everyone's doing when they are vandalizing police cruisers and writing murderers on the side of police cruisers in Seattle, for example, where I'm at. I'm in Tacoma, but in Seattle, I saw that they were writing murderers on the side of police cruisers and blaming all police for that one guy. No, we know that not all police officers do this, so why are we blaming a whole sector of society when there are, like I just said, excellent cops out there who actually do their job? That's not right. That's not right. And that flows into another point. When Caucasian people die, why are we quiet? When Caucasian people die, why are we quiet? We only seem to get mad when black people die. And I kind of want to get extreme at this point. Is it because we were slaves at one point? Do people get mad and outraged because we were once slaves and now we seem to be still in a different type of slavery? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Whenever rapists, murderers, child molesters, career criminals, things like that get out of jail, we get upset, but we don't riot. But when a black person dies and multiple black people die, then we start rioting. I don't understand why. I really don't. We should get angry and protest whenever someone is wronged by law enforcement. It shouldn't take multiple or one person's death and they have a skin tone such as this for people to go out there and cause anarchy. I'm not condoning anarchy over George Floyd. I'm saying that we should have the same value on all human life that we do for brown people's lives. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't remember recalling anybody getting mad over anybody Caucasian getting killed. I don't recall any national protests over, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the one Mexican gentleman who got deported on MLK Day 2 years ago when he was an upstanding citizen, paid his taxes, he had a family, wife, and children. I don't remember seeing anybody get upset about that. Is it because he was Mexican? And at the time, Trump was trying to get rid of all the Mexicans? And because a lot of us in our heart want a lot of Mexicans to go because they're ruining our economy? Or they're taking all the jobs? Or they're taking something from us? Is that why we didn't get mad? I think we are lopsided in our methods of anger, and I think we're lopsided in our ideology as far as what we get mad at, why, when, and how, and what we do about it. I think we're really lopsided as a nation. And the last point I want to get to you guys right now is that all lives matter. I apologize if my notes and my speech and my points seem jumbled, but like I said, this has come from the heart. These are the things I've been thinking for the past 3 days. All lives matter. Now, this is what I'm going to say as far as that's concerned. I remember getting to a fender bender. This was, I think, back in 2015. I tapped the back of a Caucasian elderly gentleman's car. He was probably in his 60s or something like that, 60s or 70s. And I pulled over. I asked him, as soon as I hit his car, I got out of my car, went to his window, said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Hey, let's go ahead, pull over to across the street, and let's go ahead and take care of this real quick." And he invited me into his car. I called my insurance company, all that kind of stuff. Got the insurance stuff settled, and we just had a conversation, and we just talked about different things, life and stuff like that. And he said, "Before you go, I just want to say this: all lives matter. And that was in the height of the original Black Lives Matter movement. And when he said that, it I appreciated it and I enjoyed it because I felt the same way. I said that, yes, sir, all lives do matter. I don't feel I'm more valuable than you. I don't feel I'm better than you. I feel that we are equal. We're both humans. All lives matter. And this is coming from an elderly Caucasian gentleman. And I think that's significant because not people of his race or slave owners to people of my race. And I felt it significant because if a person of his skin tone could say that to a person of my skin tone, knowing that back in the 1800s we were slaves, and that he feels not the same as other Caucasians who are still racist and who still have those thoughts in their hearts. If he could say that, bravo, sir, wherever you're at, bravo. I just want to say that in closing, everybody lives matter. When people of non-color die, we're quiet, blaming every law enforcement officer for what one did or four did is being prejudiced too. And we need to stop these riots, organize Martin Luther King style protests, and march the streets all over the country. That would be much better than what we're doing right now, which is destroying our cities. Love you guys. Like, share this channel, like, share this video. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Love you.